Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to my ghost-like YouTube channel. As some of my very close friends have reminded me, it's been about 8 months since I posted my last video. And I'm pretty sure in that last video, I gave this spiel about how I was gonna post more, but here we are. Life happens. So I'm gonna give this another shot. I've been going through some changes professionally, personally, nothing like drastic that's like really worth mentioning yet, but I might mention something later on in this video. Well, not mention, but show you something. But anyways, I am working from home today, but it's an interesting day because I have two different work mode avenues that I'm in today. One is my, regular Joanne's Place content. So I'm filming a podcast today. I am gonna film, edit, and send off for final edits all in today. That's my number one goal. And I'm not filming it until later today, so fingers crossed I can get that done. Right now at Joanne's Place, I'm doing some new, we'll say, jobs, and I don't work from home as much, which I actually really like. I love working from home. I love the freedom and being home with my dogs and, all of those things, but I really missed just being in a community-like environment that you obviously don't get when you're from home. So I've loved being able to go back more into the store and see people and work more with my team, and that's been great. So anyways, summarizing that is this is the only day I have left this week that I'm working from home. So that's one thing I'm doing. That's later this afternoon. And then in about 15 minutes, I'm hopping on a call with one of my absolute best friends. Her name is Jasmine. And she is on Instagram. Her handle is Nourishment Kitchen. I've talked about her many times, and she's one of my greatest, bestest friends. And we actually probably voice note every day, or at least every other day. But we actually met at Joanne's Place. So we have been friends for a long time, and we are having a little virtual call today to catch up on some life things and just getting creative with our platforms and trying to get re-inspired with each other. We are very much sounding boards for any ideas that we have, and it's just amazing. Not only is she one of my best friends, but she's also a built-in, business mentor. I mentor her, she mentors me. We just have this amazing relationship of a friendship, but also a really great working relationship, and trying to support each other in our goals as much as possible. So in about 15 minutes, we're hopping on a virtual call. We were supposed to meet in person, but some things came up. So we figured, rather than canceling, let's just meet virtually so we can at least see each other and chat. So that is how I'm starting my day. And then I have a meeting this week that's really important. I wanted to have some concrete information to present at that meeting. So I have to get those notes together. So that, the podcast, my meeting with Jasmine, and then the regular stuff like emails, and there's a couple products I need to look into. I had a meeting yesterday with a brand about medicinal mushrooms, so I need to look a little bit more into their brand and how they formulate. Anyways, that's not the purpose of today's vlog. So I figured while I was doing my makeup, I would just, say hello. I'm not gonna apologize for not being here because such is life. I remember a couple videos ago when I said, I'm gonna post more, which I swear I said that in every video. I'm not gonna say it in this video because you know what? Every time I say I'm gonna do something drastic comes up in terms of maybe too much work, not enough work, so many things. But I remember this person actually might be watching this video as well. I said that, and then I got a message from them, and they said, you told us you were going to post more, and I haven't seen any messages or any more videos from you. And I felt so guilty. I felt like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm letting these people down. Like, I felt so bad. And then it kind of deterred me a little bit from creating content again, because I was like, I feel like I can't keep up with like the demand of people wanting certain content. So it kind of knocked my confidence down a little bit. And then for some reason, in the last like month, I've had a lot of people just be like, please do something, like just something small. So that, and then I also watch a lot of YouTube, as you can see from this morning. Every morning I watch a YouTube video. Actually, so weird, but like my videos were coming up as suggested videos to watch. And I was like, is this a sign? Is this a sign? So I'm going to take this as a sign, and I figured I would just jump on here and see where this video evolved to, and I don't know, see what can come from this. Who knows how often I'm going to post, if I'll post again, but I do feel like having a little chat, and something's been weighing on me for quite some time. I've had this inner dialogue with myself of making this change, and I've had this conversation with a lot of my close friends like Jasmine, Shay, some co-workers, and I've just felt very disconnected from, we'll say, my profession, which I will elaborate maybe at another time, but I will say I've kind of felt like what the idea of my profession, being nutritionist, looks like on the outside isn't matching how I'm necessarily feeling on the inside. And I'm having a little bit of imposter syndrome, which I think everybody has, every profession has. But something has kind of caught up to me in terms of just like some things I want to change about who I am and how I show up. And I briefly talked about this on Instagram on my stories a couple months ago, about how I don't always love sharing about food. I mean, I love food, I'm passionate about food. I am passionate about like wholesome food, real ingredients. Talking about food right now in a time where food insecurity is so high for our community, it just sometimes does not feel right. And it doesn't sit right. And there's this little hunch on my shoulder right now where I want to share and educate people without it feeling pushy or without it feeling like an ulterior motive. Not that I felt like I have done that in the past, but it just, some things just don't sit right with me. And I've been seeing a lot of people talk about this, nutritionists in particular, about talking about food right now and the insecurity of food and how they're kind of pivoting a little bit in their business. And that's how I'm feeling right now, is I want to pivot a little bit because there's a lot of things I'm passionate about. And this is what I talked about on my Instagram story. I'm very passionate about food. I'm very passionate about health and wellness, like top tier, like anything health and wellness I will try. I will give feedback on, whether it's a product or some type of protocol or like a supplement or a food. I love that. I really love that. But I also really love other things. Like, obviously I love skincare. I love makeup. I love natural beauty. I love all of that. I love fashion. I love like simplicity pieces and like, I wouldn't say like capsule-like wardrobe because I definitely don't have that, but like I really love sharing like everyday wear, like clothes and like things I found. Like I shared on my Instagram, I bought a new pair of Lululemon sandals and I really, really love them. And so I shared that. I just enjoy sharing about different areas of my life, and some people might like it and some people might not like it. But it just feels more aligned with my life right now. And I just feel like sharing other things, like my home, my family, my day-to-day, and that imposter syndrome that creeps in is like, you are known as somebody who educates and somebody who inspires and somebody who does this, but you know, what I've come to realize is that doesn't always mean like sitting down in an informational setting. It can be very much like showing the ways in which I live my life, and that might be supportive or inspiring or influential to people depending on where they're at. So with all that to say, I just feel like I've kind of gone through a little bit of a change in terms of like trying to feel good about showing up and not having this idea where or this perception where people only know me as a nutritionist, or only know me as somebody who works at Joanne's Place or works with Joanne's Place, or only knows me as somebody who talks about health and wellness products. Like, yes, that's a very big part of me, but I also just want to be a person, known as more of a person, and trying to kind of separate that identity. And don't get me wrong, I could be very wrong on this perception of how other people see me. That's what imposter syndrome does. It makes you think a certain way, even if that's not necessarily true. And you know, therapy's been really great at working through that. Anyways, I'm happy to be back. At least I think I'm happy to be back. Hopefully this is well received. I guess we can say that. Hopefully I don't get any messages. But again, I'm not making any promises on how often I will be on here. I'm just gonna do my best and see what evolves and just capture what I want. Maybe not what I think you want, which might bite me in the butt later, but I guess we'll find out. Anyways, let's go log on to our meeting with Jasmine. Okay, it's lunchtime. I had the most inspiring meeting today with Jazz, and I just feel so stinking good about what's next. But I'm so hungry after that big brain dump. So I'm gonna heat up some leftovers. Last night I made stuffed peppers and I stuffed them with rice, beef, mushrooms, tomato sauce, some taco seasoning. So I'm gonna reheat them in the air fryer, and I'm gonna reheat them, and then I'm gonna top them with some shredded cheese and some jalapeno sauce and sour cream. So bear with me as these heat up. I just sat outside for like a good 40 minutes just digesting my lunch and also digesting my morning before I dive into what else is on my to-do list today. I'm gonna have a little piece of Evolve hazelnut butter chocolate. I love this product so much. Just when you think you catch up on emails, you don't. Okay. So my podcast recording is in 1 hour and I need to form some notes for a meeting that I have this week and finalize those. So I want to quickly talk about multitasking and how we often praise that as an asset for people, which is true, people who are great at multitasking. But multitasking doesn't always mean efficiency. And what I have realized is I'm an amazing multitasker. And I know that because I do 27,000 different jobs for different people. However, when I am doing something while multitasking, like I really need to zone in. I have to listen to something. Most people do. But I think multitasking for me right now in this stage of life is actually a curse because I have the ability to jump from thing to thing to thing to thing. But sometimes what I'm realizing is if I just put all my energy and focus into that one thing, it gets done way faster. I just put on some very soft music or like some type of meditative music and I just put my headphones in, and I have to do my headphones. I cannot just like listen to the music out loud because I will get distracted by anything. Whereas if I just like put everything on silent, put headphones in, blocking out any background noise, I can just get to work. So let's get to it. Now, we know that this conversation is big, and I could sit on this podcast and talk for like, hours with you on both of these conversations. But one thing I think we can agree on is that we have developed this narrative where stress is bad because it's over consuming a lot of our lives, Podcast edit is done. I'm gonna send that off for final edit for review with the company that I recorded it with. And that will be a big thing off of my to-do list this week. So the sun is about to set. It's 6 o'clock. The girls just ate their dinner and I'm gonna go for a little stroll with them because the sun is setting, and then when I get back I'll start prepping dinner. Anyways, BRB. It's about 7:20 and I'm gonna start making dinner. This is kind of late for dinner, but Shay won't be home until after 8, and having dinner together when we can is really important to us. So I think I'm gonna make a curry, a butter chicken curry. I made rice last night for our stuffed peppers and I made enough so I don't have to cook it again today. Pro tip. And then I have some chicken and I got a seasoning, like an already tikka masala, or maybe it's butter chicken, one of the two. So I just need to put that in a frying pan and fry that up. Anyways, while we cook dinner, I thought we could chat because earlier in my video I talked about something that's been kind of weighing on me, and it's actually what motivated me to pick up the camera today. I've felt like I wanted to document this, but I also feel like it helps me show up a little bit more authentically. And when I say it authentically, I don't mean I'm showing up fake. I just feel like my passions, my values have changed over the last 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. And those things are great to celebrate, to honor, and to document. At least I feel like they do. So there's a fly that's gonna drive me crazy. But one thing I wanted to share with you was something that for some reason has been holding so much weight on my heart, on my shoulders. And for some reason, like, it's something that I've struggled with, the idea of changing this, and like that people don't care and it doesn't matter for some time. But for some reason, it's something I've lost sleep over. It's something that I've talked about with my friends. It's something that it just feels like it has to happen. And what it is changing my Instagram bio, which again sounds insane. I know. But my Instagram bio is very professional based, like it's profession driven. It talks about I'm a nutritionist, I'm a facialist, I specialize in skin digestion and hormone health. I do gua sha and lymphatic drainage, and it's very like business in the front. But then on the back end of that, like the content I share has been more of like my lifestyle and my personal lifestyle, my love, my friends, my habits. And it's not necessarily content that's educational or like falling under that profession that is in my bio. And I feel like this has been in more than just my Instagram bio, but this has like showed up in several areas, and it's caused this feeling of disconnect, of not being like authentic to like being the profession, like the professional hat on. And I've kind of found myself stepping a little bit back, and it feels good. And that's kind of why I feel like I have to share this and document it and share this like moment of just letting go of that like idea and mentality. And there's so much more behind this and rooted in this, and I've been talking to my therapist about this, and like the identity that's associated with the profession versus the identity that's like showing up in real life and what that's perceived of. And there's a lot of underlying things there. But something I've just felt so called to do and called to share is changing the Instagram bio. I know this might sound stupid, but some of you also might resonate with this if you were a business owner. So I wanted to share that with you today on this video, and the decision to do that today is what made me pick up this camera today and just start filming and not have a plan or an idea or think it has to be educational in any story, any capacity. And I can just showcase pictures and videos of my life and that be enough. Because that's enough for me, and that is what feels good right now. Who knows, that might change in 6 months, but right now I'm trying to lean into where it feels most authentic for me, and this is what it feels more authentic for me. So I wanted to share with you the change in my Instagram bio. Here it is. Marissa Lachlan, holistic facialist and nutritionist, but on this platform I'm integrating my passion and my wholesome life. Beauty, wellness, rituals, mindset, and my home. I don't know why, but this feels like 1,000,000 pounds off my shoulders. So I'm gonna sit with that. And again, that might change. It also might be irrelevant, but that's what showed up for me today, and I wanted to share that with you. And that is all part of showing up as where my life aligns with my passion and my profession, and how they can be integrated and do not have to be one or the other. So let's make some dinner. On the weekend, Shay and I made a private playlist. It's called Fine Wine, and we just put all of the songs that just make us want to slow dance and sip wine or whiskey and just be happy and content and love. And I'm just obsessed with it. I can't stop listening to it. We keep adding songs to it. Music is definitely a love language for me. Anyways, this is almost done. Yeah, just reheating and steaming the rice, and I might have to add a few spices to the chicken, but that's what we're having for dinner, curry. Shay should be home any minute, and I still get like super anxious even thinking about filming in front of him. So I'm going to wrap up this vlog here and say that I will see you when I see you, whenever that might be. And I really appreciate everyone following along and joining me while I get re-inspired and redefining what it looks like to show up as a human being on this platform, on other social media platforms, and out in the real world. So if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel so whenever I do decide to release another YouTube video, you will receive a notification. And if you enjoyed this content today, give this video a thumbs up or a comment or anything at all. It's greatly appreciated. That's it, that's all. So much love to you all. Thanks again to all the friends who re-inspired me to pick up my camera today. And thank you to myself for following through. See you guys in my next one.